Tonight, from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
For San Francisco,
here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going. And we are underway from Santa Clara. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Tampa Bay coming out along with a man who needs no introduction, the great Tom Brady.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level. I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 47-yard line.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Two runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down. Brady gives this one off to Jones. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
They'll bring out 4 receivers, 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. Brady going to fake the give to Jones and set up to throw. He hits Gronkowski on the out route. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 14. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, there it is, partner. Brady to Gronk, their first connection of the game.
You think those two often in sync?
I don't think there's any question about it. And look, we know Gronk has a whole lot of fun, but he's deadly serious about his football, as is Tom Brady. 2 great competitors, 2 fantastic players.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This is caught. Gronkowski. And the Bucs are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing, so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Out comes the San Francisco offense as they are led out by their quarterback, the man known as Jimmy G. That's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And when Jimmy Garoppolo came out of Eastern Illinois, many people saw a strong-arm guy, well-schooled in the passing game, who needed a little bit of time to develop and reach his potential. Starting to go in that direction right now. A former linebacker in high school, he plays the game with a lot of toughness.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll set up to throw. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards on the pickup there. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
7, 49ers nothing.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. That's caught at the 25. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Last play they went over 20 yards. This time they topped 30. Garoppolo on 1st down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
3rd and 3.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo completes it to Samuel. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Bucs on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Take over 1st and 10. At their own 17-yard line.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from House. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Fumble on the play.
A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brady. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disrupt.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Tom Brady to his old Patriot pal, Rob Gronkowski. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take